Special characters like che, ew. There's something very interesting about the Turkish language. Turkish is an agglutinative language. This means that words are comprised of pieces that all add up to the meaning. So for example, in English, you may describe some things with a few words. You can say, I am going or I am coming. I am coming, 3 words. But in Turkish, that could be just one word. Geliyorum, I am coming. Gidiyorum, I am going. You can see the similarities, right? They both have yorum and yorum. That's because the original verbs are gitmek, to go, gelmek, to come, and when you remove the mek and add iyor, you put it in the present continuous tense. Geliyor literally means coming. Geliyorum. The means I. Geliyorum, I am coming. So the same thing goes for gidiyor. When you say gidiyor, it's like going, you know, and then when you add the it means I am going. Or if I want to use it for them, I would say gidiyorlar. That's because la is for them. So this is one thing I really like about the Turkish language. By simply adding, you know, extra pieces to the end, you could really make sentences easily. So because of this fact that it's been an agglutinative language, you could get some really long words like muvaffakiyetsizleştiricileştiri veremeyebileceklerimiz demişsinizcesine. Oh my god, that's so difficult. Anyways, now you guys get it basically. So the first tip to learn Turkish, in my opinion, is to have an open mind. I mean, for somebody like me who has never learned any other language apart from a little bit of Arabic, and I know English and my native language Yoruba. This was interesting. Like, I found it totally different. English is not an agglutinative language, so definitely this was new to me. So first of all, instead of questioning like what is this Gidiyorum and Geliyorum, if you don't have that attitude towards the language, then you'd be open towards it. So I think the first important factor that's going to affect how fast you learn the Turkish language is your openness to the language. Yeah. So the second factor that may affect how fast you learn the language is the language you spoke naturally or other languages you have learned. If you are someone that speaks a language from one of the Turkic countries like Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, these guys would find Turkish easier because they're in the same family of the Turkic languages. If you're someone who speaks Arabic or Persian, then you may find it a bit easy to learn the Turkish language. Why? Because there are so many words with Arabic and Persian origin. You see, sometime in the 1920s, the Turkish language went through a lot of reforms. For example, before, the Turkish language was written with Arabic letters. So in the 1920s, I think 1923 to be specific, the letters were changed to Latin characters. Yeah, and that is why right now you can see it is written with A, B, C, and they have some special characters like che, ew. And they have share, yeah, so they have these special characters in addition to the usual Latin characters, but they don't have Q like we have in English, and they have yumuşak, that is the G that's not pronounced. So yumuşak actually means soft, we call it soft G. So for example, a word like abi is actually written as A yumuşak G, A-B-E-Y, and it is pronounced as abe. You don't pronounce the G, that's why it's called yumuşak. Although the characters were changed from Arabic to Latin alphabet, so many words that have Arabic or Persian origins still exist, and that's why you can find words like basit, mesjid, merkez. So that's why if you know Arabic very well and have learned a lot of Arabic words, I think it would be easy for you to memorize words in Turkish that have the Arabic version. Another factor affecting the speed at which you learn the Turkish language is your love for the culture, you know, the tradition, the food, the history, and all these things. For example, I have friends that watch Ertuğrul. Yeah, this has really helped them improve their Turkish, and it has, you know, help them feel closer to the Turkish culture. So naturally, while, you know, questioning things about the culture, definitely you learn more about the language. Same thing goes for food. If you're a food freak, you want to know what kebab is, how kebab is made, then definitely you learn the ingredients required. And if you want to know more about history too, the same thing. So depending on how much you like the country, the culture, the history, the food, I think it's going to really affect how much or how fast you learn the language. One thing I really like about Turkish as well is the fact that it is a phonetic language. There is a letter for every sound and everything is written exactly the way you pronounce them. So you can say basit, and then you know that exactly you have to write it as B-A-S-I-T. Social, and you know you have to write it as S-O-S-Y-A-L. So I really like the fact that it is a phonetic language. There is a letter for every sound. Exceptions that may really confuse you. For example, a word like amach would change to amajim when I try to make it personal possessive. So amach means aim. When I want to say my aim, I'm going to add the just like we added to geliorum. So I'm going to say amajim, but it is changing from che, like amach, to je, amajim. So I don't say amachim. I think these are some exceptions that I couldn't, easily get familiarized with, but the more you speak, communicate with people, and watch movies, it will automatically get integrated into your system and you learn it. Now, if you want to learn Turkish, I believe it is best to be in Turkey, because you really need to speak the language. I actually learned Turkish for 1 year because I attended a Turkish course, but I would say I just attended the course in order to pass the exams and get my certificate. I mean, it's just like the students can also practice for English so hard and get really high scores because it's all systematic and there are formulas for everything. Once you can just take your time to solve a lot of questions and practice, you could get really high scores. But when it comes to speaking socially and being able to communicate with people and being able to communicate with the locals, I think what really helped me in my case were movies and continuously chatting with people outside. So you need to actually take the extra step to get out of your comfort zone and talk with locals on the streets. We had something we called Konuşma Kulübü, which I also attended. Speaking club, Turkish speaking club. We just go there and speak nothing but Turkish, even though we had friends who are international students who could speak other languages. So I think that's really helped. And if you're somebody who likes touring the city, touring the country, then I think this will be very easy for you because you definitely have to encounter a lot of Turkish people on your way and you have to speak the language whatsoever. So these are ways to actually speed up your Turkish learning process. I believe by opening up your mind, taking interest in things related to the Turkish language, you are going to find it really easy. If you want to see me speaking Turkish with the Turkish family, we actually made a dinner together. You can watch this video right here. That's it from me, guys. Take care.